Hi, folks. This is the DawgHouse. This week we're going to talk about parts falling off your Harley.
That's wrong.
But we are.
But true.
Which is a change of pace from your Harley has marked its spot.
Or your Harley being loading up on a tow truck.
Or your Harley being loaded up on a tow truck. We'll talk about that, too. And we're going to talk about, we want to hear about your trip to the Wheels Through Time Museum, right?
It was awesome.
Okay, and we'll do that. And Warren's going to do some news for us. We're also going to talk about motocross at Redbud and a little flat track.
Little flat track. And also we got to talk a little bit about the CEV Superbike Championship Series. Of course, last year an American won that, Kenny Noyes, and I have a little bit of Kenny Noyes info. And I also want to talk something I learned about Irish road racing this weekend.
Okay, we'll do that, folks. So stick around. The DawgHouse is about to kick off.
All right, guys, welcome back to the DawgHouse, where men are men and kin is kin.
And parts fall off your Harley.
Yeah, I took a vacation last week. We did all in all, it was a 1,700-mile trip. We went to Myrtle Beach for a few days, had a great time there.
Got thrown out.
The sharks tried to eat us, but other than that, no.
We were going to ask about that. Did you see a shark?
No, did not see a shark.
Oh, you know what? I got to go by the Discovery Building this week. It's Shark Week. Normally they put that big-ass shark
the big
halfway
shark,
through the building thing. Yeah. I got to go by this.
Yeah, this week they'll probably put an inflatable leg in its mouth.
That would be awesome. I told the guys over at Discovery to have blood dripping out of it.
Yeah.
Its mouth would be cool.
Well, there is a lot to talk about that at the beach, of course, as you can imagine, because there were a lot of shark attacks while I was down there. And everyone seemed to come, especially the news reports, I think they are all coming to the agreement that
wait a minute,
people are chumming the water to try to lure sharks in.
There's all these shark attacks, and Warren's down at Myrtle Beach. Coincidence? I think not.
Well, I could say something negative about that, but I'm going to skip it and move on.
Okay.
But no, we had a great time. The weatherman got it wrong. Our trip down, we were supposed to be in the mid-90s. So that was reasonable temperature. We had put our jackets on in the morning because it was kind of cool. And we argued about whether we were going to take full-face helmets or half helmets because we're going to be down where it's hot. But when we saw it was going to be mid-90s, okay, we'll take our full-face helmets. That was a mistake. It was so hot. It was over 100 degrees at times. And we're in a full-face helmet. Even though the new Nolans that we bought have ability to lock up and make it essentially a three-quarter helmet, it just wasn't enough air going through it. It just wasn't enough. So that heat did us in a little bit, so that kind of screwed up the first day's ride. Down there for a few days, then we loaded up the bikes and headed up into the mountains. That was another horrible ride. That's when all those thunderstorms came through the east coast of the United States. We went through 2 rain showers, 2 thunderstorms, and a wet T-shirt contest.
No Sharknado, though.
No Sharknado.
See, if you came back with video of a Sharknado, I'd have been impressed.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms, yeah.
It was not that much fun because when the rain quit raining, that's real good. When it quit raining,
when the rain quit raining, is that what he said?
When the rain
I
stopped.
think he said when the rain quits raining.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, at least the rain. I thought he said when my brain quit raining. I was like, he got drooling.
When the
brain?
rain stopped, the sun came back out, and it got hot in those rain suits. So that's why we had a wet T-shirt contest. That last thunder shower.
It was more sweat.
This sounded like more fun all the time.
Yeah, it was.
When does the real fun start?
It got worse too because there was 2 huge major accidents on the roads we were taking. Before we got out of South Carolina, there was an accident that slowed all the traffic down. Everybody had to move from 3 lanes to 1 lane. Luckily, the Harley GPS rerouted us because it's linked up with the XM satellite
Did it
stuff.
take you to a dealer in a different state? I'm just wondering.
It rerouted them, and it was like, look, over there is I-26. If I could get you there, you could take that to I-40.
That's what we were trying to do, but because of the accidents, we couldn't.
Just out of curiosity, does the Harley GPS locate parts that have fallen off your motorcycle?
You dropped linkage back at Roanoke, Virginia.
Please make a legal U-turn when possible.
Oh my God, we got to make some clips like that.
But there was one major accident that actually closed down parts of I-40 for almost 6 hours. So the auto rerouting of the GPS worked out pretty well. Instead of being a normal, would be 5.5, 6 hour trip from Myrtle Beach to Maggie Valley, North Carolina. What ended up being, with all the reroutes and all the traffic and the rainstorms, almost a 12-hour ride.
Ooh.
So it wasn't a good day. It just conspiracy. Nature conspired against us, and traffic conspired against us.
Well, obviously, what did you learn from this?
Nothing.
God rides a BMW.
Ah.
That's what I learned from this. I learned that God rides a BMW, and I'm not going to mess with him.
You know what? Here's what I think. I think that, on the East Coast, in the end of June, beginning of July time frame, it's generally pretty hot and rains a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But that's when I could get off, so that's what I got.
Okay.
We got the
you notice how he's avoiding getting into the part where his Harley had to be towed?
I'm working up to it. I'm working up to it.
I think we covered that last week, though.
Yeah,
we did.
You did.
No, because we don't have the facts.
What I will say this, Warren, is either you're as rich as Durka, or you are a better man than me. Because if I saw the picture of the guy, how he was going to tow your bike, and I'd have killed that guy.
Yeah.
I'd have killed him.
We had a discussion about it, and it was the only way. And I had a couple rags, and I put behind the straps.
Oh my God! I would have told that guy. I would have told that guy, "Can you send a pro to pick me up?"
I've never seen anybody put a strap across a fender ever.
Wasn't across the fender.
It looked like in the picture.
Well, it might be the way the picture was angled or something, but it wasn't across it.
It looked like it went across your front fender. Okay.
So we get up to near Maggie Valley the night before. I just got so tired it wasn't worth riding more. Got up the next morning, rode to 20 minutes to the Wheels Through Time Museum.
How was that?
It was spectacular. If you like old American motorcycles, it's the place to go. There's only one non-American bike in the entire building, and it's right there as you come in. They got a sign on it that says this is the only non-American bike in the building, and it's on loan from the antique Japanese. It's an old Honda.
So why is it called Wheels Through Time then?
Because it's from some of the most earliest motorcycles. Like there's some 1900 Archer, which I'd never even heard of before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not that Archer. A Sears motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
They got all these old bikes all the way up to some fairly modern stuff, like Evel Knievel's one of his jump bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Did they have the chopper from... why am I drawing a blank on the movie?
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider chopper?
They had
Captain America.
The Captain America chopper.
Yeah,
there you go.
They had one that was similar to it, but it was definitely not the Captain America.
And that's what they had at the Barber Motorsports Museum.
Every museum I've ever been to has a Captain America.
Yes, there's 721 of them.
And what kind of surprised me, in addition to the bikes and the layout, because when you first come in, he's got a couple different things going there. As you row around, it goes through different types of eras and different types of bikes, like hill climb bikes versus military bikes versus board track bikes versus modern racers. So it's all over the place, but it was really nice to go through. They also had a lot of other exhibits that you would not normally think would be in a bike museum, like newspaper clippings from the 1920 board track race where a guy goes off the side of the track and kills 6 people in the audience.
Well, that was big back then. If like pre World War II, if you had a race and you didn't kill a spectator, they didn't even talk about your race. I mean, that's one thing. I've done a lot of like learning about old racing. 4-wheel and 2-wheel, and killing spectators. Louis Chevrolet has killed more spectators than Jeffrey Dahmer killed people.
Killing spectators was a separate sport all on its own.
It was like
it's like the Death Wish movie.
Wow, that guy killed 12 last year. Let's make sure we bring him back as a headliner.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but that's what I
want to get back to the Wheels Through Time, but only American wheels. Doesn't that
because only America celebrates time.
Yeah, apparently.
The rest of the world is
it's a museum in Tennessee, Central.
So it's technically the American Wheels Through Time.
American Wheels Through Time. Yeah.
Okay.
They had an airplane. They had a Harley-Davidson engine. They had a...
that would be scary.
Did
it have a parachute?
They had a tiller, like you do for your garden.
Rototiller?
Yeah. It was one of the huge, big, like 1930s kind where everything was big, running off an Indian engine. So they had all these other implements, chainsaws and stuff that were running off motorcycle engines.
Yeah, I've actually seen. I mean, actually, some of the professional chainsaw guys that compete in those professional contests, they use like motorcycle.
Motors.
Yeah, they'll use motorcycle motors in some of those to actually drive Kawasaki's, Husqvarna.
Well, they're drawing their ideas from the 20s and 30s.
Yeah,
That's where they started doing it.
Indian made a whole bunch of different things like that. They had Indian lawnmower. What brand lawnmower was that we saw in Barber?
That was you got. I don't remember, but I do remember the one you're talking about.
I don't remember what it was, but it was somebody. You know, a lot of these companies, old stuff, really old stuff, weren't just bike manufacturers or car manufacturers. They were, we make lawnmowers and motorcycles. We make chainsaws and motorcycles. We make snowmobiles.
I think that was a way to fill in. I don't think motorcycling was a big money-making business at the time.
Right. Indian had a lot of different things when I was at the Motorcycle Period Museum. Indian had a lot of different spurs.
And you saw a lot of those in this museum.
And that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, but you also saw a lot of unique one-off things that people built out of motorcycle engines and motorcycle parts, including what I have to think is one of the earliest snowmobiles. It was a sled that a guy had used a Harley, I think it was a Harley engine, to mount a little track to push a sled down through the snow. So it was kind of cool because I'd never seen something like that old, and you could definitely look at it and say, Jimmy Bob built that in his garage.
That's like a violation of principle there.
Actually,
because it's Wheels Through Time Museum with a track.
Tracks. Well, there's wheels in the tracks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But actually, I'm not to bust your bubble. That's actually really common. Like when you go into the north, when you go into the museums in the north, you see a lot of them, and you see they'll have pictures. And I mean, I wouldn't say for sure, but they probably started snowmobile racing on those style things. Did this one have the big steering wheel in front, or did it have
this is like
and motorcycle grips and stuff?
Yeah, motorcycle grips.
Yeah, I've seen them where they've had like steering wheels on them, and they steered somehow using the steering wheel with the motorcycle engine and the track and stuff. And they've had races for those probably as early as they've had motorcycle races.
No, so that's not
people back then were crazy.
I never rode in a snowmobile till the mid '80s, so that's the first time I was exposed to
people back in the late 1800s, early 1900s were crazy. They were crazy.
Yeah. A couple of the other exhibits he had a couple rooms set up as garages from different eras, like the 40s and the teens and the 20s, and you could see how a garage would have been set up back then, and the tools and everything they had to work on them. But what was some of the more remarkable stuff was there was a lot of cross pollination, for lack of a better description, between what he's doing and the stuff you see on American Pickers. Some of the stuff you've seen the American Pickers pick up during their shows were actually in the museum. I don't know if you may have seen the American Pickers show where the guy bought the car that had been made out of a belly tank for an airplane. Well, that car was there. They had one section that was dedicated to motorcycle police, which had some pretty cool stuff in it. I actually met Dale Walksler. He was there. And from what I can tell, he's there every day because that's his business. And he started up a couple bikes while we were there, and he actually took one out and was riding around in the parking lot with kids. So he was really doing a good job trying to promote his stuff, and I think he did well. One of the things I did find out is that his show, What's in the Barn, was canceled by Discovery. So if you enjoyed that show, which I did and didn't at the same time, I thought the producers kind of killed that thing by trying to make it, a reality show the last year of it. But they canceled that show, and he's trying to find another venue to do something similar with that. But I really enjoyed the Wheels Through Time. So if you're ever in the North Carolina area, that is a place to make a special stop in. And if you're on a bike, that is almost the epicenter of some of the best riding in North Carolina and Tennessee. Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed. You've put it off quite a while now. You ready to talk about?
I'm not up to. I still got another day to go here.
I didn't know we were doing day by day through this. No. Man.
As long as he can put off talking about parts falling off his bike.
But we're not due for a break for about another 5 minutes, so I got to figure out how to get to the 5 minutes without talking about it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I mean I love going to those old museums and seeing the things, and sometimes they have cool things I really get a kick out of, and I even take photos of them just so that I can go back and do it. Is sometimes you see the old stories on the side of the, on the walls with some old photographs. Like in Barber, they had that motorsports photographer from like 1904, and he had all these pictures of like flat track racing, what we'd call flat track racing that now, but it was fairground racing. They raced on the horse circuits and tracks and stuff. So, there was, I love going back and seeing a lot of those things, the pictures, the stories, then the bikes.
And he had a couple odd things there as well, and I'll give you two of them before we go on to the next piece of information. There was a set of golf clubs that was just kind of sitting there, and it was near the Evel Knievel exhibit. And I was going, why is this set of golf clubs here? Of all the stuff in the building, there's nothing to do with motors. That I pulled out a couple of the clubs, maybe Harley-Davidson or Indian that made the clubs.
Right.
No, so I looked at the little pool lawn.
He saw the sign that says "Don't touch."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm from the DawgHouse. F you, pal." Yeah. All right, but go on.
So I'm looking at it. I can't figure out. So there's a couple of docents walking around, and so I grabbed one of them and said, "What's up with this?" And the guy says, "I haven't a clue." So I'm going to go check. So he actually runs Dale down to find out about what these golf clubs are. Well, right next to the Evel Knievel exhibit was an exhibit. I'm drawing a freaking blank of the guy. I even know his name. He was a racer from the 70s.
Ken Kaplan.
No.
Oh, wait, he was a famous racer.
Famous racer. I'm drawing a complete blank. I actually recognize his name when I saw it.
Like
Kenny Roberts?
No, this is a guy. It's an older guy. He's dead now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
American racer?
Yeah, it was his golf clubs, and he gave them when they gave him the bikes to the display. He gave him the golf clubs too.
And they didn't bother to label it or anything.
No, but it was right there near his bike, so I guess people were supposed to assume that. And then the second item I saw that was really weird, but I didn't get a chance to ask anybody about it, was they had a trike that was kind of shaped similar to an SR-71.
Gary Nixon.
Okay. And.
Wait.
Kind of an SR-71 style thing, but it wasn't complete. It was like there's parts sitting beside and everything. So I was going to ask him if that's something they were working on restoring to make it run. Because every motorcycle, every car, anything that has an engine, his rules is it has to run to be in the museum. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of interesting.
So I can't go.
So you can't go because you can't run.
Do you run? No.
I walk real fast.
I don't even do that no more. No, I don't run.
Well, no, since the Caterpillar took you out.
Yeah, I barely wobble now.
All right, so we were there probably 3, maybe 4 hours. It's not as big as it sounds, but it's still pretty good size.
Yeah, I could tell by the nice shirt I have from it. Oh.
It's almost as nice as mine.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember this guy said, "Hey, give me a Moto America shirt." Yeah, no problem, Warren.
Remember, I'm in a motorcycle, not in a car, so I got
There's a thing called FedEx.
Wait a minute, I seem to have just watched a video where you showed how much stuff you could pack into that bag.
Not only that, but I also know from the pictures, you were on like an international flatbed. There was plenty of room for a t-shirt.
Maybe I'm going to make a video out of that now, and
you will.
And I'll have little captioning that'll come up on the screen and says, "Look how much room! It probably could have fit 2 more T-shirts in here. I'll bet."
It might have been able to. I might have actually got 3 in there if I'd really pushed in it.
You could have thrown out some of your wife's clothes.
She wouldn't let me do that. All right, so from there we leave. We thought we were going to hit the Blue Ridge Parkway immediately because there's the entrance to the park right there near Maggie Valley. But then we saw that the Cherokee Indian Reservation is only like 2 miles down the road from the parkway. So we hop on that, we go over the hill and drop into the Indian Reservation. And
by cheap smokes?
No, I don't smoke, but it was just we just never been on an Indian reservation before. Actually, it didn't look like any of the rest of Tennessee.
Racist.
And this is what's going to sound.
I can't even tell you how bad I want to get up and punch him right. How racist was that?
You don't want to punch me anymore here in a moment.
My God!
I've
never been. It's like I'm gonna go to the ghetto because I ain't never been to black people's houses. What the hell? Wait, have you ever said I'm gonna go to Temple because I've never been to a Jew's house?
We wanted to go to the casino.
Let's all go take a trip to the Bronx.
Let's go to Anacostia.
I've been to the Bronx. I'm not going back.
I mean, wait, can you not go to Mexico now because you've been to Manassas?
Did you?
I'm sorry. All right, I'm done.
We want everyone. Some of the people at the place said that the casino there was big, and it was very huge for just about being in the middle of absolutely nowhere. But in the town of Cherokee, so we drop in there. We look at, and this is going to sound even more racist, but this is true. I saw more Indian motorcycles in and about the Indian reservation than I've seen anywhere else.
That would be confused Native Americans because Indian motorcycles got nothing to do with it.
I know, but it was interesting. When we pulled up to
but it's like our soft spot. You should relate now.
Yeah, I should. I should. You're right.
But anyway, so then we pull up on the parkway and we're driving through the parkway. I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, we're getting lost. We're going the wrong direction on the parkway.
Oh no, by all these darkies. Oh, sorry.
No, I thought we were headed south instead of north because it just felt wrong.
Because he has a Harley GPS.
Quick,
the GPS was telling me I was going the right way, but I had to stop and ask to get directions. And after the break, I'll tell you about my breakdown. So how's that?
Couldn't come soon enough.
I don't feel comfortable here now.
You shouldn't.
Y'all have hurt me deeply.
So we'll be right back.
I like it when I can hear you too.
Well, that's true too.
You know, I like it when Durga turns your mic on.
Yeah.
But,
oh, mic was off as well? I like this music that we came into this time. It's one of my favorites.
It's all right.
All right, so Wheels Through Time Museum. I got this great little DVD. It's called Bring 'Em Back from the Dead. It's where they're repairing.
Did they charge you for that?
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
He theft it. You thieved it?
No, I bought some tickets to when their bike is what they used to pay for, the raffle bike.
Okay.
And when you bought 5 of them, you got a free DVD. So when I bought the 5th one, I got the free DVD.
Okay.
Are there any boobies in it?
No.
But they do sell that.
You can buy this for, I think it was $15 is what they sell.
$15 and no boobs.
About the same price you could buy a T-shirt for, I think.
You notice how he had room for the DVD?
Yeah.
He could have said, screw you and your free DVD.
You guys can feel my pain, right? You guys can feel it. So
I don't
anyway,
think so.
Phil's going to give you the phrase that pays in a moment, and if you could repeat this phrase that pays on Facebook between now and next show, I will, at a random choice, pick someone to win this DVD, and I will send it to you.
How about the first person to put it up on Facebook? How about that?
We'll give
or
it a
the
chance.
8th, or whatever. I don't know.
Some people will watch this. Some people will listen to it.
Yeah, let's make it the 8th so we can keep it.
So here you go.
So what's the
phrase that pays is, you're so cheap you squeak.
Oh,
I like it.
All right. So the next morning we get up and we're taking I-40 across Tennessee because we're going to head back to the house at this time. And if you've never been through I-40 through eastern Tennessee, it is an awesome ride by itself. You're twisting through all the turns. It's got some good uphills, good downhills. Got a couple tunnels. It's just a great ride for an interstate. The problem was that as we were coming up one of the hills, I kept felt something tap my toe. I kept looking down and looking down. I couldn't see anything wrong. Maybe I was hitting bugs or something. I don't know.
That was your bike trying to give you a hint.
Please park me, for the love of God.
My wife looks down after I've looked several times and can't see anything wrong. My wife looks down and says, I don't think the shifter is supposed to be hanging that way.
Actually, I think the exact quote was, honey, this piece of junk's falling apart. But okay.
So what happened?
So,
since I already know the answer.
Yeah, Durka can put the pictures up on the screen. The forward part of the shift linkage separated from the rod that connects the shifters
in other words,
to the linkage. No, it didn't break.
It just fell apart.
Vibrated apart.
Yeah, the bolt just disappeared.
Nope.
Oh, maybe
the bolt was still there.
It was still there. It just backed itself out.
It didn't even back itself out. It was still in there as tight as it was from the factory.
Okay, what happened?
So, best guess, as I could figure, is that either it wasn't set properly enough on the spine. Other than that, I don't know why it would have come off. It just vibrated. But here's the sad part.
Well, what came off? A nut?
Nothing came off. If you look at the pictures that I put on my post, I just want to ride.com. If you come from the shift linkage,
normally a plug like that gives us some kind of pay, like a T-shirt.
Yeah, right. Something.
Okay, I just mentioned that.
They got a crimp. I don't even know what it's called, a crimp bowl or a crimp. Anyway, the shaft.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
No one does.
Nobody in Radioland cares.
It came apart.
The fact you broke down after all the crap he's given BMWs over all the years.
I'm giving Harley crap too, and I'm gonna give Harley more crap right now.
I just want to know this. And this is what all the listeners
that's not the name of the blog.
None of the. I just want to know this.com.
With the number 2.
Don't do that again, because Dirk literally almost spit water on the board. But what all the listeners want to know is, what does crow taste like? And was it barbecued, deep fried, salt,
you
pepper,
guys know me
ketchup?
Enough by now. This kind of stuff doesn't bother me. It broke, and it turns out this is not an uncommon problem.
No! Oh, sorry.
I was very surprised at how many people on Twitter, Facebook, and a few other places, some of the forums because I had a 2-hour wait, so I was just using my phone and griping about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised at the number of people who had the same problem. And then when I get to after we get the bike up on the tow truck, we ride the tow truck 40 miles.
Do we have those pictures?
Yes, we do.
Put the tow truck picture back up.
It doesn't bother me to tell you guys.
No. I just want to say, if you're looking at this picture, go to the YouTube, because...
Or my blog. Either one is on the same. It's on there too.
Go to our YouTube page. I don't care about Warren's blog.
That's right.
All right? I make nothing. Warren gets all this free ass off his blog. Yeah. I get nothing. Don't go to his blog for this.
Okay.
Go to our YouTube page. Thank you very much. Go to our YouTube page and look and see how they put it up on a tow. Here's what I learned. Don't break down in Tennessee, North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, don't break down anywhere. I don't care what kind of bike you ride. Don't break down. But yeah, the picture looks worse than it was. You know, we put the strap on there. I had a couple of rags that I had in my saddlebag to polish the bike with. I tucked those behind it, pulled it up, and then when we strapped it down to the bed before we rolled, I used those same cloths to put between the chrome and the paint.
The tow truck driver was so prepared to tow a motorcycle, right? That you had to provide rags.
Now, did you call like AAA or did you call Harley?
I called the Harley Owners Group, which uses
Hog sent that guy.
Which is the same company that AAA uses, and the same company that all these other companies use for roadside assistance. So that's just saying to me, if you're a listener and you live down in the hillbilly area of Tennessee. Wait, that's all Tennessee. Actually, only Eastern Tennessee is hillbilly Tennessee.
The hillbilly area of Tennessee there. Go and buy yourself one of those deck lifts. Get in the tow business and steal. There's a ton of people go down there riding.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can make a killing, because people would request you instead of Joe Blow and his rollback.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
When we get to the Harley dealership.
And you should call, wait, one more thing. Right. You should call the tow company. I just want to ride.
I just want to
ride towing with the number 2.
That's right.
Look, you can't get a better. Matter of fact, email me, Phil at ntnradio.com, and I'm interested in investing.
I just want to keep on riding.
I just want to
ride. You guys can kiss my shiny metal ass.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. I mean, listen. Dave Meath is actually paying for us to taunt you.
That's right. Yes.
Oh, I don't have any doubt about that. No doubt about that. I'm sure a few others have pitched in, too.
You know what the difference between Harley-Davidson and BMW is? When BMW has a problem like this, which apparently is a common problem from what you're saying, they would have recalled the bike. Harley-Davidson...
You would have teased them for it. Harley's like, F it. If we recall, people will tease us, so we'll just let them break down.
Oh, I will admit that more than a few of our listeners threw some good jokes up on
Warren
Facebook.
Was pretty good. I mean, Olaf was great.
Olaf was great.
Olaf was good. Dave had a couple of good ones. So
if you don't follow us on Facebook, you really should, because Olaf was rolling.
Yeah, I didn't think, yeah, okay.
You did sort of open yourself up for that.
Yeah. Oh, but I don't care. I mean, that's just part of the experience. So we get to the dealership. They get from the moment the bike touched the ground to the moment they said it was ready to go, less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, because they're like waiting for them.
Right. Because I mean, the nice thing is it's a common problem, and they're probably really good at fixing it.
And that's what the service manager said. We have several of these a month, and it didn't take them long. Plus, they moved me to the front of the line because I'm not from the area and we're riding, so they moved me to the front of the line.
Because you have a job. They're like, wait, this guy could probably tip. Yeah, they're like, bring him in.
And that's something else I found out when we were in Pigeon Forge. I'd never been to Pigeon Forge before. I had no intent to go there this time. That place is crazy. I don't know if you guys ever been there, but it's got everything you can imagine in Pigeon Forge because of
it's like Dolly Parton's hometown, right?
Yeah, and they got the Dollywood amusement park.
Right.
Got something started there. Now you got the Hard Rocks and the Planet Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it's like Branson East.
Pigeon Forge is a huge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like the Branson East, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got 30, like I said, less than 30 minutes. We didn't get a chance. We just barely ordered our lunch in a restaurant next door to the Harley dealership. Before the guy came in, the service manager came across the street and said, "Yeah, your bike's ready." Okay. So, but I couldn't fix it myself because the screw that it takes to tighten up and loosen so you can slide it onto the spine requires a Torx wrench. So I had to guess is a 26, but the tool that comes with it is a 27, is a 25, and a 27.
Listen, they're not going to give you the tool
ones you
need to fix it.
No.
How are they going to charge you?
It only goes 25, 27.
Well,
30.
whatever. I need to know.
Whoa. Mr. Metric himself, Kareem Abdul Laderka, just said it doesn't come in a 26.
Well, whatever. I was between sizes, whatever I needed.
Tiny and extra small. All right, relax. Durka, you're not on mic. Quiet.
Okay, so
Durka's about to blow.
So now, what I'm doing now...
So the lesson is that...
Carry more tools.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, no, because then it'll be, well, I couldn't buy your T-shirts because I had to carry all these tools.
Yeah.
The lesson is buy a BMW.
No.
Dave Mead could have brought... Dave Mead, next time you come out east, bring us T-shirts from wherever it is.
I could have even went on the trip because it'd been in the recall
Dirk and me were talking about this last week. I think we were talking about this. We said, see how far you could take your bike apart, and that's the tools you need to bring with you, right?
Yeah.
If you had done that, you'd gone around all exposed connectors in there. You made sure you had a tool that would fit that, which is not that many. It's not going to be that many.
But I would have never even looked at this because I didn't even realize there was, to be honest with you, that there was a screw down there. I'd never paid attention to how that was connected.
Right.
You know,
because it's
somewhere
behind it,
in
you
all
couldn't
this,
see it.
Ron Popeil
I bet you will next time. I bet you will.
Somewhere through all this, Ron Popeil is going to end up rich.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. The Harley multi-tool?
The Harley multi-tool. Look, have you ever been... Right. Have you ever needed to scramble an egg while you're riding your Harley? The Ron Popeil Harley tool can do that, yeah.
So, anyway, finally get it fixed. We get on the bike and we head north, and that was the last of our adventures.
Okay.
So we made it home. 1,750 miles.
Yeah, very cool. A lot of miles.
9 minutes. All right, so almost made it.
Almost made it.
All right, so in other news, if you guys are done ridiculing me now.
Probably not, but okay.
In other news, I'm going to start a campaign to get a recall for this part.
Oh, very good.
We'll see how that turns out. I'm going to write the NTHS.
You should talk
or
to Dave Meath about it. He can probably tell you how you get recalls done.
Probably can. The dum-dum. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna write them up because if at least,
I don't want you to, because that's going to cost hundreds of techs their job. I mean, if they're fixing, what'd you say they're fixing 2 an hour?
Well, this is in Pigeon Forge. He said 2 a week, not 2 an hour.
Yeah.
And that's in Pigeon Forge.
That's in Pigeon Forge. Imagine places with population.
Yeah, I would imagine that probably any of the dealers in the Northeast probably are doing.
Well, you got to remember, there's a lot of
people.
There's a lot of people flowing in and out there during the summer. It's a big destination point. So, but if as many people on Twitter and as many people on the forums and many people on Facebook said that they were having these similar issues,
but it was about a screw that backed out.
Nothing backed out.
It just fell off.
It just fell off.
A part fell off completely.
Yes, disconnected.
I had a Vega like that.
Wait a minute. Okay, but you said something about you not having the right star tool.
If I had the right tool, I could have backed the screw out, put it back onto the shaft, tightened it back up, and be able to ride away.
Okay. You didn't have bubble gum?
We might need pictures of this. I'm trying to understand if nothing backed out at all, how something falls off a spline shaft.
Good question. I don't know. It shouldn't have happened. I don't know how it could happen.
I'm thinking you got a snow job.
Yeah, I know. It's like miracle. It's a magic thing.
Jesus himself took it off. Oh.
I mean, something holds the part, which is the shift
obviously
lever.
Not, because it fell off.
It's the shift linkage.
Something held the part, it wouldn't have blown off.
Something holds the shift linkage onto the spline, correct?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, if it had, we wouldn't have this great story.
So maybe it was just balanced on there?
I'll show you the pictures.
Did you lose a part?
Didn't lose a part.
Everything was there.
So literally, they charge you 2 hours. Wait. They charge you 2 hours labor to back a screw off, slide the thing back on, and put the screw back in.
No, it's covered by warranty.
Of course, it's covered by warranty. So I'm trying to get this right. So nothing fell off, and the way to fix it is to back a screw out that doesn't hold anything, and screw it back in.
Essentially,
it's magic. It's magic.
It's magic. Oh, I shouldn't say
in other news.
YouTube will
kill in other news,
can we see this?
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, thank you.
In other news,
go ahead.
I thought you was getting ready to jump in again.
No.
Johnny Knoxville is producing a new movie on Evel Knievel. It's going to be a documentary biopic on Evel Knievel.
Johnny Knoxville, good person for that.
Johnny
Knoxville's probably broken many of the same bones. So
now Evel Knievel's going to be a pot smoking guy who dresses up as an old guy. And
Evel Knievel will no longer jump canyons. It'll be barns, cars,
old people, buses,
drugs. Drug people.
All his landings will be into a big pile of cocaine.
But he has actually produced a bunch of other movies. So this is not
It's something we know.
Bad Grandpa.
That was all right. Something that was good.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that. He produced all the Jackass movies in addition to some of the other ones he's done. I had one up here a moment ago that he produced that you would know, but I can't see it right now because I don't put my glasses on.
Okay. You need to borrow my glasses.
No, mine are right here, but I had to look for it. But anyway, he has produced several other movies, and one that I have watched because it's about my home state, The Wild, Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. If you've never seen that, please don't watch it because it gives us a really bad take on us.
See, first you give the name out, which is a guarantee people are going to look it up, and then you say, please don't watch it.
That's on my watch list now.
Yeah, that's right. Mine too.
Wow.
It's the only movie where you're going to see somebody shake a pill bottle full of pills and go, "This is our mating call."
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Okay.
But anyway, he's producing this, and I will be putting a link to the trailer on our post, and we'll also put it up on Facebook, DawgHouse Radio.
Why?
And
are they paying us?
Because it is a good trailer.
Is this like lawsuit to follow type thing?
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
I mean, let me ask you this. Well, let me just.
Is he coming on the show?
If we ask him, I bet you he would.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to talk to him about that. Is this a serious Evel Knievel movie?
It's a serious Evel Knievel movie.
He's never made a serious movie, Johnny Knoxville.
Well, in comparison to Jackass, The Wild, Wonderful Whites of West Virginia was...
What was that again? What's the name of that movie?
The Wild, Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, I could get him to say it.
Don't watch it, please, because it puts us in a bad light.
Don't watch it. And we're saying again, please don't watch The Wild, Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Just don't see that.
It came out in 2010 by Tribeca Films.
Yep.
Okay.
And as I said earlier, he produced the Dunsons in America, Nitro Circus, and a few others that you've probably heard of as well.
Well, Nitro Circus is a stunt. It's a stunt.
Yeah, it's an extenuation of the Jackass stuff.
Nitro Circus is actually more like X Games.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he produced it. I think he
IMDb. He gets credit for his producer.
Didn't he like break his ding dong on the Howard Stern show on Nitro Circus?
Was it his ding dong?
Right.
He broke a bell.
I always joke around and say I bruised my uterus, but I think he ripped his urethra or something on Howard Stern doing Nitro Circus stuff.
I don't remember that, but it's quite possible.
Like I have no respect for this guy. I mean, he doesn't have a urethra.
But it kind of fits with
no urethra.
An Evel Knievel documentary kind of fits in with his whole genre of craziness. Because Evil did some crazy stuff.
Philip. Hell of a job getting this show straightened out, haven't we?
Totally. Hey, Durga, I got this idea. Why don't you just play random songs on your phone during the show?
Is this our exit music?
No.
He's pulling up like rip urethra videos or something. I don't know.
Then finally, before we go out to break, I did a little bit checking, updating on the Waco stuff, and you're not going to really hear much about it for the next probably months because the judge put a gag order on everyone, so you can't put anything out in there. They're not releasing any of the videos. They're not releasing the autopsy, so who killed who. They're not releasing anything. Yeah. But here's the kicker. The prosecutor, who is now being sued by several of the bikers for false arrest, is a co-worker friend, was a partner with the judge who issued the gag order.
Where's Trump in all this? I have a feeling Trump's involved somehow.
I don't know about
why
Trump.
are they suing the prosecutor? It's the police that arrested them. Prosecutors don't arrest.
Well, he's suing everybody.
Okay, well,
Yeah, because it's just a bunch of people that don't know who to sue.
yeah, just sue everybody.
I'm going to sue. That guy
And
put
they're
me in
gonna-
jail because
and they're
I
gonna
was
make a lot of moves
where they
by
were
doing
shooting people up. Listen, they should get a lawyer for two reasons. One, because you're going to jail and you probably deserve it. And two, because somewhere there's going to be a movie and a TV special for this.
And you got to get your
you
take.
want to get paid.
You got to get your take.
That's why you need a lawyer. Go to jail, do the time. Don't worry about it. You'll
Produced
get
by
paid.
Johnny Knoxville,
All right,
no
folks.
doubt.
Johnny Knoxville will produce that movie.
Right, yeah.
All right,
We
folks,
ain't coming
when you
out.
get back, we'll be going to cover some of the racing news of the world
For the week.
for this week.
We'll be right back. I just got a thumbs up. Woo-hoo! Dang old thumbs up here in the DawgHouse studios. Welcome back to the DawgHouse here on ntnradio.com. We don't really say that enough anymore.
No, we don't, and it clearly is
And
hurting us.
speaking
It's
of-
clearly hurting us.
It is. And speaking of ntnradio.com,
Yes.
you should go there and fill out that survey because last week we didn't mention that.
No,
And we
you did.
You
Yes,
did.
I
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know we had to do it for 4 weeks. So probably next week since we skipped a week, and then we won't mention that
Yeah.
survey again.
Right.
But to those of you who did fill it out, thank you very much. To the rest of you, typical.
Yeah. Please fill out that survey because it's helping us getting the great statistics we're getting today.
Yeah, which are actually.
My wife filled it out, so you guys can fill it out.
Thank you for skewing the results of the survey.
That's right.
Lord.
Hey, she's a listener.
Yeah, but she doesn't count.
Yeah, but we're not.
It
We
did
can't
not-
fill it out. We're not listeners.
She is, and
We're
there's
considered-
nothing in there that
we're
says family
considered-
and friends may not do that.
At least one of us is considered talent on this show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't say which one.
Yeah,
I was talking about Warren.
Obviously. Obviously. So I guess we'll talk a little motocross first. Or no, let's talk flat track first.
Let's talk flat track. Let's talk about
Ken wants to S on Fans Choice stuff.
Fans Choice TV. Drove me crazy because I was really looking forward to watching the flat track race this weekend because I keep forgetting about it, and I remembered. I set myself a reminder on my phone so I would watch it. And I don't know what their problem was, but I was going from device to device because it was almost impossible to watch. It was stuttering and breaking up
It's
and
been
buffering.
good every week, and then all of a sudden this week it wasn't.
It was horrible.
So I'm thinking.
Oh,
it
and
might
by the
have
way,
been-
Fans Choice TV, your announcers suck.
they kind of.
They suck. Okay,
Easy.
if anybody whose name begins with like a Ryan or a Brian and everything, if you got to come up with a nickname on the fly for them, you suck.
Yeah, well, they
Everybody's flying Brian, flying Ryan.
recent right.
Yeah, right. They just make things up all. You know what? You suck. Move along. Get another
Ken's
job.
just-
Just mad because his was Crashing Ken.
Yeah, Crashing Ken.
Crashing
That's
Ken Gatlin.
It's true.
But
Ken
the
doesn't like
race
anybody.
They used to
itself.
call me Chain Link Ken.
Chain link. So chain link. The final race, the Dash for the Cash was pretty good. I
Yeah.
thought the Dash for the Cash was a great race.
Yeah.
Brad the Bullet Baker came out of pretty much nowheres,
Yep.
and he ended up winning that. But they were in Quoin at the state fairgrounds there. I think that's Illinois, right?
Michigan, isn't
Michigan?
it? I think it's
Whatever.
Michigan.
Whatever. It's out there in the Midwest, someplace like that.
Someplace.
It's someplace that I'll probably never go, although I want to. But the racing, I thought, in the finals was good.
The racing was good in the finals because there was a tight pack
Yeah.
of 5 guys primarily for the majority of the race.
And then they red flagged it and screwed that all up.
They had a red flag, but it still was a close race.
Yeah, it was.
Same primary guys that were in the front. The only thing is, I think the person that it helped the most in there was probably Coolbeth. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know if it. I really think it helped
Or as Phil likes to say, cool breath.
I was to say, does Phil even know who that is?
He's some guy that has a twin that raises called Cool Breath. I thought it helped Brian Smith.
It did help him.
Because
Flying Brian did help.
Yeah, it helped Flying Brian because I'm not sure when they were trading back and forth before the red flag, he couldn't get around Brad the Bullet Baker.
Right.
And notice he didn't pick on Brad the Bullet. Because Brad the Bullet beat Mark Marquez.
That's right, exactly. You don't pick on him.
You don't pick on an American that can whoop Mark Marquez.
Right.
But I don't think he won that had it stayed green because Baker got caught up in the restart. He got stuck in traffic. But I don't think he would have. I don't think Smith would have won, or even been up, or got anywhere near there, had it not been for that. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't get around Baker early.
Right.
He was just Baker was taking this really wide line and then coming off, and he was motoring.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, but it was a great race to watch when it wasn't freezing.
And one of the best finishes I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. It was so close the timekeeper couldn't separate them.
Yeah, it came up 0.000.
Yeah, I saw that photo finish.
Yeah, and they went to the photo and they had Smith's tire. But I think it was like junk flying off his tire. I'm not even sure that was his tire.
I think he was ahead, but it was like probably less than half a tire length.
I don't even know if it was that much.
Yeah. Or maybe a tread.
No, the difference between second and third was the hardest one to tell because I looked at the picture and I couldn't.
You couldn't see, right? How did you? That was just a guess.
Right.
That was like, who do we owe? But it was by far the closest finish I've ever seen in motorsports.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen it where all three guys had the same time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was just a great race. It was, the end of it was good. The whole race was good except for the red flag.
Yeah, the red flag was tough.
But it was a great race, and I mean, coming into that last bit of stretch, it was like.
Yeah, I was going to say the last 5 laps, I had no idea who was going to win. No idea.
From the beginning, I had no idea who was going to win because in the beginning, I was saying it looks like it's going to be Baker because everybody was diving inside on the turns and he was going outside so he could pass.
Right.
But then when he got caught up,
I actually thought it was going to be Mies.
Mies was looking strong.
About 5 laps into it, 5 laps left in the race because it looked like he just had a little bit more speed than everybody else there. But
drafting's important, and when you break that draft on those big mile tracks for those guys, I know we're saying big mile tracks, and that kind of sounds funny.
But that's big for them.
That's big for them, and they draft. Yeah. You need to draft.
The thing is, you get to the mile tracks, you don't see nearly as much drifting as you do in the shorter tracks.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it was good racing. Then motocross. Motocross was in Redbud. Redbud is Michigan. I'm pretty sure DuQuoin's Illinois.
It could be.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You could be right.
They were at Redbud, which is very similar to Green Bud, Purple Bud. Oh no! I wonder how that town got its name. But anyways, I shouldn't have went down that road. But they were there for races where I'd almost say it pays to be better. It's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, I would say that's true. It's in most cases in racing, that's definitely true.
They were just
if you have bad luck, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah,
so luck is.
But
important.
if you have good luck, sometimes it doesn't matter how bad you are.
That's true for the most part. I would agree with that.
They just had in the 250s, Jeremy Martin ended up with a first and a second. Where he probably shouldn't have been, but everybody just kept falling in front of him.
Jeremy Martin had an interesting race. I'll tell you what, Jeremy Martin never ceases to amaze me because he started out by leading, then he drifts back to 4th place, and then he charges all the way back up, and he gets. Jeremy Martin had 2 firsts, by the way, not a first and second.
Yeah, I will say.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah, he had 2 firsts, and in the 250 class, I think right now he's
the guy to beat.
Yeah.
Zach Osborne, I think, had a great weekend.
Yeah, and Musquin had a horrible weekend at a bad time for him.
Yeah, not the time.
With Martin getting 2 firsts, that's the worst thing. Would a Musquin get a 6th and a
4th?
Yeah, 4th and a 6th or 4th and a 7th. Yeah.
But
bad weekend.
Musquin's only 7 points behind in total points, though.
Yeah, I don't get. You know what? I don't get that because I think Martin took over the series lead in the first race. and then he won the second race. He should have pulled more points ahead than that. That's what I have to go look at the math on that.
Yeah, I'm not. That might be a little sketchy math.
Yeah, I think so.
It might be. I'm not really sure. Because I thought the same thing. I thought, wow, he's going to blow up big.
He should be like 11 points ahead by my figuring.
That's kind of what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach Osborne had a good race, and so did Cooper Webb, who's somebody we haven't talked about in a while.
Yeah, well, he hasn't been racing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we just came back and he did. And I think Cooper Webb looked really, really strong in the first race. Mm-hmm. Looked really, really strong. Took the lead, and Cooper Webb's another one of these guys that just seems like he has bad luck.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like he's got bad luck. And the problem with Cooper Webb is who his teammate is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeremy Martin's his teammate.
Jeremy Martin, and isn't Osborne his teammate too? Right?
I don't know.
Aren't they all riding rock stars?
They might be. I didn't think there was three, but anyway. But I know that Jeremy Martin, and the problem is...
Plessinger. Maybe it's Plessinger.
I don't know.
One of them. Somebody else's. Yeah, but when your teamteammate's winning.
Yeah, and your teammate's
you can't,
it's that strong.
You can't kick the bike out of gear on the way by to a teammate.
Cooper Webb's he's very talented, but
bad luck.
The Martin brothers are awful good.
Yeah, and Martin just had luck. I mean, when he fell back, everybody fell down in front of him.
Yeah.
It was like he had people in the fence.
What happened to Muskin? Because I didn't get to watch the races this weekend.
Muskin got caught up in he got caught up with Cianciarulo in race 1.
Yeah, I think so.
And he just and he had a horrible start in race 2, and he could never quite get out of the middle.
It took him forever to get out of the traffic, and by then the leaders were gone.
Yeah.
You know, and that happened, and Supercross and Motocross, that happened.
That's why the whole shot's so important.
Yeah, whole shot is very important.
It's also a track that ruts really fast. That track there at Redbud ruts up really fast, so it looks like by the time the heat races are over with, the track's already chopped up so bad.
Because the
tough
soil's
track,
really sticky,
which kind of leads. Yeah, that's right.
That was good.
That's bad.
All right, that was bad.
But anyway, which does kind of lead us into who it does help, which is somebody who
in
raced
the 450s. Bam, bam, I cut my hair, now I can race Barsha.
Yeah, I think that messy tracks just suit his riding style.
Yeah.
I really do.
And cutting his hair. Cutting his hair helps.
I don't think so.
I think so, man. He's been on fire since he got the buzz cut with the big beard.
They didn't have the Samson Delilah thing going on.
It's the opposite, though, you know. Yeah, he looked strong. Dungey looked like Dungey.
Dungey looked good. Dungey looked good in the first race.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's such a huge difference, in my opinion, in talent level between him and Barsha. You know, and Dungey's got a whole lot more 450 experience than Barsha too. That's the other thing too, like 4 more years. But it just that track seemed to
suit
him.
Barsha's style.
And what did Roxon get? 2/3, I think.
I believe so.
He got 2/3. So.
And Weston Pike had a
I tell you what, when they move to some of the quote unquote drier tracks they got coming up, I think you're going to see the Dungeys and the Roxons trying to settle back in.
Yeah. These messy tracks though are right up Barsha's alley.
Seem that it suits him.
And it was also called like Redbud, and he not saying nothing.
That does fit Barsha. You're right.
It does look like that would fit him.
The other thing too is that it's like I said last time, when Barsha's in the lead, there's nobody to wreck.
Yeah.
It works for him.
That's
it
true.
works for him.
He's got nobody to hit.
Yeah.
James Stewart isn't riding with. Malcolm Stewart ain't riding with him.
Running into people, I will tell you, I know for a fact, running into people slows you down.
Yes, no, I know. Yes. I know. So, anyways, he was looking pretty. He won the weekend because he won the second moto.
Right.
Had a second and the first, and Dungey was 1 and 2. Roxon a pair of 3s. Tickle had a 4th, and Purcell had a 4th. First race, Purcell just had miserable luck.
Yeah.
So how many more points does this put Dungey up?
I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to the point standings.
Well, since the only person that's out there with Tomac done would be Roxon, and because Roxon at 2/3, he picked up another 15?
Yeah, he's way out there. He's 40 some odd points out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the pretty much unless Dungey just stops finishing, you might be able to.
There's a lot of racing left.
There's a lot of racing.
A lot of racing left. We'll see.
But the guys missed the consistency.
Yeah.
So, shifting gears a little bit, and it's a little more on the serious note. Somebody who we don't really talk about, and we kind of almost should, is Kenny Noyes.
We don't talk about him because the guy was a championship in a series last year that doesn't exist anymore, right?
Well, it was the Spanish CEV, which is now changed into the European Championship.
Right.
So they were calling him kind of like the defending champion of that, because
I guess
they just
technically would be true.
Which technically would be true. But he had a serious crash at Aragon in the warm-up session for the races this weekend. Suffered. At first, they listed him as critical head injuries, but now they're saying they induced him, so they went into coma, and they're saying that the swelling's coming down, and they're looking for him to make a recovery.
Did his helmet come off in the wreck?
It doesn't say.
I mean, it's very surprising that somebody who has a serious head injury with one of those helmets on.
Yeah, especially the new ones with those similar to Han's device on the backside.
It does not. I haven't seen any video of it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any pictures from it, and the reports haven't really said what it was, other than he came off at like turn 8, and he hit the wall, and his bike hit him. Or his bike hit him and he hit the wall.
Oh, maybe just the impact, the force of the impact.
Yeah, so they said he was huffing, and he was struck by his bike in the crash and knocked unconscious.
Wow.
So our thoughts and prayers go out to Kenny Noyes. And, I mean, he's somebody who, he came in third in the Super Prestigio a couple years ago where Brad Baker beat Marquez, and we kind of brushed over him then, and I kind of feel like a jerk. And I've said a few times in the past off air that, man, we should try and talk about him or have him on or something.
I remember Kenny Noyes racing flat track. So
yeah. But they're saying doctors now believe, according to RoadRacingWorld.com, doctors are now saying that a complete recovery is probable, if there are no new consequences.
So no broken bones or any other injuries?
No, none of that. It just says brain hemorrhaging. So hopefully he'll be good.
Pretty serious stuff. Anyway.
That's pretty serious stuff. And then the other thing I want to talk about is something I actually had to go to Olaf and ask him about because I didn't understand what I was reading at first. But a Dr. John Hines died in a crash this weekend. Okay? And that probably means, to us Americans, that kind of means almost nothing.
Unless he makes ketchup.
No, Heinz, not Heinz. Heinz with a D.
It's the same thing to Ken.
It's the same thing to me. It's red.
But anyways, he was a doctor, but on weekends he followed the road racers around these courses like the Northwest 200 and the Isle of Man and stuff, because they don't have they call them air ambulances, but what we would call medical helicopters. So the first response to these accidents are these doctors riding around on their motorcycles at almost race speed following the action.
During the race?
Apparently they follow the practices and stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of what, maybe I misunderstood that, and if I misunderstood that, somebody can correct me. But then during the race, they're staged at parts, and when a rider goes down, they get on their bike and they huff it there.
Okay.
So this was one of the guys who apparently has been doing this for a while.
Motorcycle bike, bicycle bike.
No, motorcycle bike. He's got like looks like a super bike.
So it's a kitted out for medical treatment. So he just jumps on his bike and goes to where it actually
Well, it looks more like he's carrying packs on him, like backpack, like medical packs on him and stuff, and he jumps on the bike and he goes.
So what happened?
So he died in a practice session in the Republic. I'm not sure what that is. They call it, maybe it's a track, maybe it's a race. I'm not really sure what that is.
Okay.
But I didn't know that they don't in Ireland. They don't have medical helicopters.
Well, they do at the Northwest 200 because I had a picture in one of the where they were picking up the spectator with the helicopter.
Well, apparently not for the racers.
Well, maybe this is the first responders.
Maybe this is just until they can get it here.
From what I get, they don't have. And this guy was one of the main guys leading the push to get these air helicopters there. So it's a big loss to the Irish racing community and stuff. And apparently these guys are like as well known and as famous as the racers because of what they do. Anyways, that wraps it up. MotoGP is in Sachsenring this week. Flat Track's at Indy, and Supercross has the week off. So get your picks in for the pool, and Get your picks in for the pool. Make sure
we're going to actually put the qualifying times up before.
We're going to put what time qualifying starts
so
for everybody.
To get your picks in. No excuses. People.
No excuses. No crying. No breaking down. Anyways, that was a cheap shot to Warren. Anyways, I guess we'll be. No, I said I guess last week. Ken's like, what the hell does that mean? We will be back next week.